can you take too much Cardio Miracle, Robert Scott Bell?
You'd have a hard time doing that. I will say, my son is over there doing, like, boxing stuff up and helping to, get things ready for shipping, and, of course, Cardio Miracle kinda is almost on tap there. He said he has drunk so much in a day that he got a little bit of a loose, let's just say, his
Okay.
so it wasn't dangerous, but, the body's smart. If you take too much of something you don't need, the right response is the body goes, "Let's move this on out a little quicker," right?
Yeah.
Uh, but technically, because of the levels of everything in it, you'd be hard pressed to do it. Now, what is required, what is needed? Again, we've talked about a wide variety of circumstances. There are those that are in, let's just say it, cardiovascular need. I'm not mentioning diseases. I'm just saying
Sure.
they know they're starting at a deficit in some way. And
Yeah.
oftentimes you'll have them take a scoop in the morning, scoop in the middle. There may be 2, 3, or 4 scoops. I know your dad's a big guy. He's taken a lot more than that in a day without an issue.
Yeah.
So, what would my concern be? If there was a high quantity of vitamin D in it,
Yeah.
because vitamin D is a fat soluble complex hormone. It's not just like a water soluble C. If you take too much, you pee it out. So in that context, I think it's done so responsibly that even if you did multiple doses, you're not going to take too much D either, which is
Mhm.
great. And of
Yeah.
course, on the D front, I always like to remind you that we found that the pathways that this supports, because it's a comprehensive food product, as Judy Mikovits says,
Yeah.
it feeds the body's ability to utilize the stored vitamin D that is very abundant within your fat cells. And everybody has them, whether you consider yourself fat or not. We all have some, and that's where it goes. So to access the stored D is somehow to now open up the floodgates of something you've had, but you couldn't get. And so you kept taking more and more. And that's where you get into trouble. But you're not going to have that trouble with Cardio Miracle. I know that's a long way of answering an important question. And if you want to add nuance to that, go ahead, Josh.
No, I love it. So here, right here, I've got 2 servings in here, and I do like 3 of these a day, and I have 25,000 steps today. So I walk every day. I walk miles and miles and miles every day. And so, it just depends on kind of where you're at. Exactly. I'm 6'3". I used to be 500 pounds almost, and now I'm down to 280. And so the point of it, I start my day at 4 a.m. I do HIIT training on a fasted stomach. I go to the gym by 5. I lift weights. I was gonna tell you, Robert, dude, this morning I was pumping out 120 in each hand and
What?
doing 12 reps with the dumbbells.
You can bench press me like it's nothing.
So I gotta get in there and get you. No, so I was feeling really good because I'm doing kind of a carb load right now. But like, no, just to answer your question, Lars, it kind of depends on how you're feeling and really just listen to your body. We
Yep.
suggest for the best dosing is 2 servings a day, and that really depends on how often you're taking it, how much
Mhm.
you want to take, how big you are, your
Yep.
stature, your height. It's not one size fits all, unfortunately, but we do have 58 whole and organic fruits and vegetables in here. So it's just,
Yeah.
can you get too much of a good thing? I mean, not
You're nourishing those
particularly.
pathways adequately and let your body be your guide. Like you
Yeah.
said, my son who's very slight, he's like 125, right? He's so slender, he's all wiry. He found out he could take too much and then his body just went, "Okay, move it on out." But he
Yeah.
wasn't harmed by it in any way. That's the beauty of it. And I'm a one a day guy because I'm pretty ridiculous in terms of my diet and lifestyle. But let's say if I'll do it and then I'll go work out in the morning. Some days I have meetings all morning and I can't do that.
Yeah.
Trainings I have to do. So I'll do an afternoon workout. I'll probably likely take a second dose of Cardio Miracle because I know I'm going to push my body at that point. Or when I'm out on the road, traveling. Now, this last week wasn't a big deal because was hanging out with mom. I wasn't doing an event or anything, so it was more fun time and celebration time. But when I'm out on the road pushing my body in a different way, I'm usually doing 2 or even sometimes more, and I don't necessarily need that, but I need the nourishment when I'm under a lot of stress and activity that's not just physical, right? A lot of mental
Yeah.
activity. It's requiring that blood flow and all of that. So the
Yeah.
brain and nervous system uses a lot.
Right, right.